You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, we're going to talk about Caitlin Clark. It seems that Colin Cowherd, that's right, over at the Herd, Fox Sports, he has come out and he is dropping truth bombs out there involving Caitlin Clark and what it is she means to the league. And he shows during this rant a rather interesting statistic involving franchise value, and it's quite eye-opening when you consider exactly how low the attendance used to be. And by used to be, I'm talking about just last year, all right, 2023, for the Indiana Fever, shows what Caitlin Clark's value has done to the franchise, and it's pretty jaw-dropping. It really is. And we got to remember, of course, all the other things that's coming down the pipeline. So keep this in mind. There's a couple of things I want you to keep in mind before we get to the Herd, because I think it's all tied together. The WNBA could quadruple its media rights fees to $240 million annually. All right? They're currently getting $60 million annually. All right? And that is the Caitlin Clark effect. That's her popularity and everything that entails. All right? That she is exploding this league, and her branding, her power coming into the league right here, just a little refresher. CBS Sports reported a 2.25 million average viewer for Fever's victory over the Chicago Sky and, of course, Angel Reese and that rivalry. The game peaked at about 3 million viewers, making it the most watched WNBA game in 23 years. It continues to rise. The league reported last week approximately 400,000 fans attended WNBA games in May, the most through the first month of the season in 26 years. More than half of the games were sellouts. A 156% increase from last year, the league said. ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, CBS, and WNBA games are averaging 1.32 million viewers, nearly tripling last season's average, 462,000. That's one of the things I brought up to Dejanay Carrington while she was out there running her mouth about we're not going to shut up and dribble. Well, you might ought to if you want to make money. If you want to quit getting paid $80,000 and go up to something more like $200,000, I would shut up and sit down. Seriously. I'd be the biggest, I'm shutting up, I'm sitting in the corner, I'm figuring it out. Because I want to get paid above everything else. I mean, seriously. So Colin Cowherd came out and said Caitlin Clark is the greatest player for the business in the history of the league. I can't argue with that. She's already the biggest player in the history of the league from a branding and business standpoint.
Published WNBA team evaluations. How much are WNBA teams worth? Not much. If you want to see the Caitlin Clark effect, here it is. Bad team, small market, and they are worth more, the Indiana Fever, than the Los Angeles Sparks, the Dallas, Atlanta, Washington teams, and almost equal to a team in Chicago. This is a bad team in a small market. I feel like I'm watching a little bit like when Tiger Woods, came to the PGA Tour. Suddenly, within a year or two or three, all the golf purses started to explode. It lifted all boats. But the difference is Bryce Harper to baseball, Tiger Woods to golf, let's say Conor McGregor to the UFC, they did not save those sports. Golf was making money. Baseball's always made a ton of money. Dana White and UFC were making money. It did, however, illuminate those sports to a greater level. More people watched. More people were interested. But the WNBA, since its inception in 1996, I think 97 was the first year they played, they've lost big money every year. The losses aren't as sizable last year and the previous 7 or 8 years but they were like $10 million. Losing money. In fact, so much so that in 2018, teams moved to smaller arenas. In a city of 10 million people, New York, the Liberty, we're averaging 1,700 people a game. The WNBA Finals this past year got 700,000 viewers, about half of what the newly formed UFL championship game got. Caitlin Clark, to some degree, is saving the WNBA. This is not Conor McGregor. The UFC was ascending and profitable. This is not Bryce Harper to baseball. Teams in baseball are and remain flush with cash. This wasn't exactly Tiger Woods to golf. You still had legendary tournaments like the U.S. Open, the British Open, the Masters that people watch and coveted. That's not so with the WNBA.
And let's stop it right there. But, I mean, that's exactly right. And there are some lines to draw between golf and what's going on in the WNBA, at least with Caitlin Clark, because of the viewership aspect exploding and the attendance aspect. But golf was already drawing viewers and already getting people to show up, and they were making all kinds of money. Tiger Woods came in, exploded it. The UFC's been doing good for 15 years. The WNBA was on life support. And that life support, they've been on it for 30 years, nearly. And it was from the NBA. Caitlin Clark has blew up everything, including the value of her team. And I'm making a prediction. By the end of next year, if she stays on the trajectory that she's currently showing from a progression standpoint, and she had another big game last night, the Indiana Fever will be the most valuable franchise in the WNBA by the end of next year. I'm not sure it won't be by the end of this year. The Indiana Fever, a small market, is going to be the most valuable franchise. I mean, let's be honest. They don't have a Dallas Cowboys, New York Yankees. Nah, they ain't got it. They ain't got that. Her branding, her name is massive to this league. I said coming in, she's worth more than the league. Branding-wise, she is worth more than the league. Larry Bird mixed with Steph Curry, the branding of Michael Jordan. Look out. And, I mean, what she's done, the viewership, attendance, shit, it's unbelievable. It truly is. We're watching Bird and, Bird Magic come into the league when the NBA was on tape delay for the finals. I mean, once she gets experience, once this team gets really good and they start going deep in the playoffs, holy hell, if they ever make a finals, there's no telling what the ratings are going to look like for that. If Caitlin Clark is in a WNBA finals, you're going to start seeing 4 and 5 million viewers watching the finals in the WNBA. And it's going to be like, what the hell? Hell has frozen over. I guess so, because guys like me are watching, have now watched 16 WNBA games this year. You couldn't have paid me to watch a WNBA game beforehand. I'd have said, are you out of your mind? I'm not wasting 2.5 hours of my life. Go blow goats. No way. Yeah, here I am. And a lot of guys like me are watching now. You can look at the crowd. A lot of guys like me sitting in the crowd now. Seriously. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.